So I thought I was done with the St. Thomas More stories, but in the shower today, I remembered a couple more. I remember a kid named the Snake. He wasn't Kenny Stabler. He was Brian Greenbaum. Skinny little dude. But he liked football. He just shouldn't be playing football. He's one of those kids that looks like Ernie from My Three Sons, got the crooked glasses and stuff, But he came every day, every day. So one good story is that St. Thomas More kept their stuff in a basement by the furnaces and stuff, or kept all our football stuff down there. And they had these blocking dummies and tackling dummies from when I played. They were 15 years old, but they were huge and heavy. They probably weighed 150 to 175 pounds. Nobody liked to get them out to use them, and then nobody liked to use them. So I used it as a punishment. So I would always tell these guys that, okay, if you don't do what we want, we're going to get out those dummies, and you're going to do that. So I'd wait till they took me to the end of my limit, and I'd say, okay, that's it. Go down and get those dummies. We're going to hit those fucking dummies until you guys drop. So a couple of these younger kids, they thought that's what they were called, fucking dummies. So one day, the Snake gets picked up by his mother, and she's going up the hill out of the parking lot, and all of a sudden I see the brakes slam on. She throws it in reverse, comes jamming back down the hill in reverse, skidding over to where I'm at. And she goes, "Coach, come here." I go, "What?" I go, "Twink, help me." And I go, "What's the matter, Mrs. Greenbaum?" She goes, "Well, I'm sort of disappointed on what's going on here. I was just asking Brian, what'd you guys do at practice today?" And he goes, "Well, we started out, ran a couple laps, then we did our calisthenics, and then we broke down offense and defense, and we were getting ready to do some stuff, but everybody was goofing off and stuff, so we had to hit the fucking dummies till we dropped." And she slams on the brakes, and I go, "Oh, okay." But winning solves everything, because we were winning, so we were allowed to do that, but I had to watch my mouth after that. But there's another good Brian Greenbaum story. Is that we had the second and third string guys. I called them the gooseneck squad. Those were all the kids that the helmet was too big, no matter how tight you adjusted that chin strap. The shoulder pads were too big. The pants were never small enough. That's all they did was battle their equipment. But Brian, the Snake, he was the captain of the gooseneck, so he would get them all organized every time we would put them in. So that year, we were winning quite a bit. We had a really great team, so we'd always get a good lead going. And so with about 7 or 8 or 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, I go, "Okay, Snake, get the gooseneck squad ready. You guys are going in on defense this next series." And so he'd get them all together, and they'd all be standing there with their helmets on crooked, ready to go in, because they loved going into the game after the starters beat the heart out of the other team, so they didn't mind that. But one day, we're playing a team from the city, from the Hill District, and those guys, it was 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, but nobody checked anything. You just had to be in the 6th grade. It didn't matter that you were in the 6th grade. This is your 4th year in a row in the 6th grade. They didn't care. They were on the 6th grade. They were on the junior varsity. So these kids were older than my kids and Twink's kids. I say mine. It was our kids. And so we're playing them at some field in Upper St. Clair. I think it was Jack Joyce Field or something. I don't know. I forget. Boyce Field, maybe. And they're killing us. They're beating the hell out of us. Kids are getting hurt. We got to carry them off the field. It was just brutal. And so, but right when the fourth quarter starts, I'm standing there watching, figuring out how are we going to survive this. And the Snake comes up to me, Brian. He goes, "Coach, are the goosenecks going in today?" And I go, do the goosenecks want to go in? He goes, "Not really, Coach." And I said, okay, man, don't worry about it. The Goosenecks are not going to be playing. He turns around and goes, yeah, we're not going to play today. Yeah. And everybody's clapping and cheering because they're not going to have to go out there into that meat grinder and get chewed up. So that's another really good St. Thomas More football story. The Snake, my man, Brian Greenbaum.